remember the day I got saved, and no one knew, but my plan was to leave, and I wasn't telling them this time. And my friend, I used to lock myself out my house, but that was all all in the plan. So I would go over to my friend's house, and she would always witness to me when I get there, and then when he got in, we would come back. So that's how I ended up going to Deliverance
church to begin with.
Before beepers. And that was before cell phones and
beepers. I know that's right.
And that was like, so
you were on the landline.
Yeah, so I was like, I would always go. I use a dime to get in the outside door, but I couldn't get into the door to my apartment. So I would always go over to her house, and she would share with me about the Lord. We would talk, and we would, just all kinds. She was a good friend. I went one Sunday. And when I came back home, he said, "How'd you like it?" I said, "Oh, it's nice. It was broken down. He didn't try to be all deep, talking all over my head." Well, y'all know Benjamin. So when I went the next Sunday, I gave my heart to the Lord. And no one knew this but God. And as I walked back up the aisle, he said, "If you stay, I'll fix your marriage." It's like no one knew that except what was in my heart. But the Lord said he knows our heart. Right. And he said, "If you stay, I'll fix your marriage." And we thank the Lord for every year we have, because it was him who did that. And so, even like my children, I'm getting full. But my children say, "We took so long to get married, Mom, because we couldn't find somebody like you and Dad."
Oh, wow.
We know what struggles we went through. And we know what struggles we still go through. Because the enemy still attacks our marriage. Even though we've been married 46 years, the enemy always tries to find a way. But
and we never, I don't remember us ever really fighting in front of the kids.
No.
They knew we was talking loud sometimes.
Right.
But it was never, they were never in an environment, because I remember those environments when I was little. So when it got to that point, I would just shut down. But the kids, as far as they were concerned, everything was cool. Right. While we were struggling. And that was one thing I never wanted that to happen to them.
Awesome.
Yeah. The bottom line is that a lot of people gravitate toward us because I guess what they see, but what they see is what he made us. Right. And we have to give him that glory and honor and praise. But we like to be, we're friends. You know what I mean? Friends don't always agree. Right, honey? Am I your friend?
Truth.
Friends don't always agree. We were just in the car. He just told me, "Are you going to have an attitude today?" I was like, "I'm not upset."
In the beginning, I tried to change her, because she didn't agree with me. A lot of things she did different. And I was always trying to mold her to be different, like, "Why are you talking so loud, Right. Why, you screaming now? All we doing is, I disagree with what you're saying, but you're screaming." So it took me a while to understand that we were two different. See, I can de-escalate and still, but that's me. And I'm saying, there's no need for that. But there was a need for that because that's how she was. That's how she is. Right. Mm-hmm. And so once I realized, this is years. I'm compressing it, but somewhere along the line, we realized that we're different, and I'm not going to be like she wants me to be, and she's not going to be like I want her to be in all things. But the most important things, we were correct. right on point. But so we had to realize that you can still have a loving relationship and be different. Right. Awesome. And once we got to that point, then we began to grow. Awesome. But I can't tell you when. I can't tell you when it was a process. And it's still a process. Yeah. Because
we're very different.
But for the grace of God, we're still capable of going off and probably hurting each other. It's possible that could happen.
Right, absolutely.
Because we're human. And the only thing And humans are very, can be very
Right.
But like I said,
Right.
but the Lord, we've been around the Lord so long, and His Word is in us so deeply that I don't think that would ever happen.
Just learn to take a deep breath, but express yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think when you learn, like sometimes I would say, well, the Lord will fix it. The Lord will fix it. And that's not, the God's not going to come down and fix every little thing.
Right.
He wants you to speak up and say things. And so I'm using learneth, because that means continuing, but we're learning how to say things to one another and communicate what's on our heart so that it doesn't fester. And I think when you get to that place, if people would just learn how to, he said, I can point to the camera. Yes, if you learn how to just calm down, take a breath, might take a day or two for you to chill and be able to collect yourself to be able to talk to the person, it's okay to lay your feelings out. They may not agree with it. He may not ever agree with it. Right. But that's the part that I think allows our marriage to be sustained the way that it is, because he can't change me and I can't change him. The only person that can make that change is the Lord. And if he doesn't do it, then it doesn't get done. But I can respect the process. And that's what you have to do. You have to respect the process, because we grew up in two different households, two different sets of parents. And so you're going to have differences of opinion. But I think the main thing that we come together on is with our children. We never argued about, they never played two ends against the middle.
Right.
Never. Whatever I said, went. Whatever he said, went. And we may not like the way that person handled it, and we may come aside and talk about it later with them gone. But if he did it wrong, then he still got back 100%. If I did it wrong, then he still backed me 100%. And then when we come together, well, I don't think you should have hit him that hard or whatever. You kind of like laid it in.
That's me with my daughter.
Yeah.
Did you have to hit her?
Yeah.
She don't get hit. She need to get hit. That math grade up.
I know that's right.
Right.
Look like that.
Look
at that.
All kinds of references to how you make love and how you treat your wife sexually. And when you really care for each other, you're free to do that as Christians. You're free to do that with your spouse and to be creative. And that's why I look at it, to be creative.